Welcome to Shovelware Diggers. Our dig team's currently excavating the Softkey Shareware 2000 Hit Games 2 CD collection. You can find a link in the video description containing the entire directory structure of this archive. Here's what our diggers have for week 107. For more information on how to join the dig team, simply follow the Patreon link in the video description. Now without further ado, let's get started. First up, Lenoir's dug up WINGAMES /GG/BATSAT. I guess Battle Satellite, or Satellite Battles, or something like that. Where is it? BATSAT. Or maybe it's just as it sounds. It's like a satellite that's bat-powered? I don't know. Wait, BRAINGAMES for Windows version 2.0? This is the right folder. Huh. Okay. So, BRAINGAMES for Windows version 2.0. So what have we got? Oh! That's what's going on here, is it? Okay. So it looks like what we have here is a piece of a larger software compilation. Because it seems here that there's supposed to be 7 different games, and yet all we have here is Battlesat. Well. So, just out of curiosity, how much was this going to be registered for? Ooh, this is another $20 software thing, but at least this is the case where you're paying for 7 programs in one. And apparently the company was WinWare, which is a very simple company name. Huh. Interesting that they managed to catch that. So anyways, let's actually see what this is. Battlesat is a game similar to Battleship where you must destroy all of your opponents, the computer, ships, although in Battlesat you are playing in space. Okay, so basically battleships in space. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be anything complicated here. So let's see how it plays. Of course, probably VB Run 200 again. Let me go fetch that. Okay, so part of the reason why I haven't put VB Run 200 in the Windows sys is because these DLLs were meant to be distributed with games. Now, I do understand the fact that VB Run 200 is 348 kilobytes, so if you've got that present in like all of these different games, it's going to take up space. In fact, I got a funny feeling that a lot of these games came with these DLLs when you properly downloaded them, but for the purpose of making this CD, they may have just gone through and just wiped all of them. But in any case, here we go. BRAINGAMES for Windows, Battlesat by WinWare. And apparently the person who made this is... That's actually very difficult to read from where I'm sitting right now. It's going to look bigger to you guys, but remember, I'm recording this at its not normal resolution, so I'll have to look that up in a moment. But in any case, well, we got an interesting Earth picture here with a crosshair moving around. Okay, I took a closer look with the... It looks like it's Fierce Bushnuk or something like that. That's going to be a tricky one to pronounce. What does this do? Oh, that's just an icon. Okay. So, let's see here. So, I'm guessing what we do first is place our ships, maybe? Or do we even get to decide? Because I'm guessing this is like where our ships are placed. Like, what happens if I actually... Yeah, we're already playing, so you don't get to choose where your ships go. The game's automatically doing that for you. Oh, so the red was a hit. Okay, so we got his green ship. We got his purple one. Well, one thing's for sure, this plays real fast. We got his yellow one. He hasn't gotten any of mine yet. Interesting. So all I have left to find of his is Oh, there's a one-size ship. Oh, boy. Okay, so there's something I want to talk about in terms of battleship simulations, And there's a very particular reason why the original Battleship doesn't have a one-tile ship in it. And it's pretty simple. In order to be able to destroy a one-tile ship, guaranteed, you would have to put pieces on every single square of the board. It is otherwise, like, it's the only way to guarantee that you're going to get it. Like, yeah, you're probably going to get it before then, but the thing is, worst case scenario, it will take that long. Whereas with something like the two-piece ship, that's a little easier to figure out. There's a part of the reason why I do this sort of cross-patterning thing. So that's why it's never good when Battleship-type games include a single-piece ship like that. You can get away with it if you have, like, special moves that can, like, reveal a whole bunch of spots at once or something. Like, that's what the Game Boy version of Battleship did. Like, they actually made, like, a Game Boy version that had all these kind of special features you could use, and that made it possible to have one-tile ships without making the game virtually unplayable. But I could end up having to clear every single space now. Well, let's see what happens. Okay, yeah, so I've got all of his ships except for the cyan one, so now I literally have to check every single square. There. I got it. Look at the amount of squares I have to uncover. That's like half the board. Single tile pieces should not be in a standard Battleship game. Oh boy. But anyways, that was Battlesat. It's a Battleship clone. I do like the fact that it plays really fast. Doesn't seem to have a two-player mode, although admittedly that would be difficult to do for something like this. The program alone is not worth $20, but as we saw, this is part of a 7-game collection. So you would be spending $20 for the collection as a whole. So if we were to break it down then, if we divided that, it would basically make every game just slightly less than $3. And this isn't bad for $3 software, that's for sure. But yeah, aside from the single tile piece, I do like the fact that it plays really quickly. There's not an overabundance of sound or special effects, which would slow everything down. So, and it does actually have some uniqueness in terms of the graphics. So, yeah, for cheap software, it's not bad, but I would expect more if I was paying $20 for just this program. Next up, Christopher Groff dug up DOSGAMES /Arcade3 /SPACRCK something? I'm gonna guess either a game called SPACRCK or SPACRCK. Because I can't think of what else that would stand for. Truth, fileid.diz. Space Rocks, plural, by Adam Taub, $20. Asteroid style arcade game. Okay, where do you send the $20? Well, maybe we'll find out if this was a DOS program. You gotta love when stuff like this happens. Just a second. You gotta love it when Windows programs are hidden away in these DOS folders. It's like, did anybody even check? I want us to wonder how that even happened. Anyways, here we go. Space Rocks. Do we maximize? Maybe. So, unregistered version, that is me, that is an attacker, and that's a rock. By Hi Mom Incorporated? I guess that's the business name he's operating under. Settings, sound, balance, white background? Huh. Now, that would work if these were darker in color. Anyways, about SR. Oh, there's the guy himself. Program was written in Microsoft Visual C++, represents first attempt at programming in C++. Oh, so it's first time programming in C++. Let's see how well this turned out. And yet he's asking $20 for this. It's kind of weird. Yeah, send $20, which has no time limits. So it basically means that there's going to be a time limit in this game when we start it up. Okay, so moving them... Ooh. This is mouse-controlled asteroids. Well, this is going to be interesting. Shoot all the rocks, avoid bumping into rocks, avoid hitting the attacker. Each shot costs 5 points. Oh, so it's using like the Astroblast type of mechanics, where even though you can shoot unlimited times, each shot costs you your points. So if you're trying to go for a high score... And you can't shoot the attacker, that's good to know. So rotate ship, thrust, and shoot. Got it. Oh, and it looks like people did register his previous game called Space Walls 2, the sequel. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7. 7 people registered his previous game. So if you needed an example of just how difficult it was to sell software as an indie, well, here's some proof for you. 7 is a very small number in comparison to... Whoa, his frame rate is horrible.
Get ready.
That was weird. It's actually sound effects.
Get ready.
Charging $20 and yet clearly using sound effects from other games or other media. Because there's the photon torpedo sound. I'm pretty sure I've heard that crashing sound in other games. Wow, these controls are very bad. Okay, so... Here's the thing.
Get ready.
The way these controls are working, whenever you move the mouse left or right, your ship spins clockwise or counterclockwise. So it's very contrary.
Get ready.
It's very contrary to your natural desire to... Is there keyboard controls? We need to find out. Are there keyboard controls? There are no keyboard controls. Oh boy. At least it maximizes properly. As I've mentioned before, that's something a lot of games don't do properly.
Get ready.
Wow, you have a very unforgiving hitbox in this game. Yeah, this is surprisingly difficult to control. Like, I'm sort of getting used to it, but... Oh, the unregistered version only plays for approximately 1 minute. So you can't even beat level 1 in the amount of time it gives you. Oh, and I just noticed it's actually restricted the mouse movement right now. I can't... It won't go up to the menus. At least it remembers to remove that restriction when it's done playing. Anyways, that was Space Rock's unregistered version. It's not good. If it had keyboard controls and not a super restrictive unregistered state, and the fact that it costs $20, this is not $20 software. This is more... If this had improvements so that you actually have keyboard controls and such, then maybe you could get $15 for this. Especially given the fact that the sound effects are definitely sourced from other sources. But yeah, this is not good. And our last dig for today comes from Justine Topland. WINGAMES /GG/BRAINGAM. Wait a minute. Okay, I honestly did not expect BATSAT to turn out to be that BRAINGAMES package thing. So this BRAINGAM folder actually is all of the different programs. And it included VB Run 200. Okay then, so what we have here is a case where this BRAINGAM package has not only been extracted, clearly, and set up, but a situation where it's like been split into different folders? Okay, so now I'm curious. Look at that. There's Achi there, and there's Achi there. Wow. So, let me guess. Bastille. Is there a Bastille in the house? There is. Is there a jumper? There is. So, yeah. It looks like one of the ways they tried to make this CD seem bigger than it is they took this one game package and split it into 7 different games, and still included the main package right here. Wow. Okie dokie. So I'm kind of not entirely sure what to do about this, because technically BATSAT should have been part of this whole sequence here. So I think what I'm going to need to do, I'm going to give, since we're basically going to be taking a look at all of this in a moment, I'm going to give Lenoir another shot at it next week, because that's cheap. That's like so freaking cheap. I'd be upset if that happened to me. So Lenoir's going to get another dig next week, but I guess for now, let's take a look at the rest of the games in the program. Although it looks like, well, actually, that's just an underscore. I think if I rename that, everything will work fine. So rename to VB, whoop, hello? Why do I have no keyboard control? Okay, so one of the games that I played so far, either Battle Satellite or Space Rocks, broke the keyboard controls. I can't type anything. They not even the alt buttons are working. What the heck is wrong? Okay, so I'm gonna have to restart DOSBox. Go figure. Okay, I finally have keyboard control again. So, let's actually take a look at each of these. We've already seen Battle Satellite, so I guess whatever this one is. Aki. Or Achi. This is tic-tac-toe, just with circles and squares. But there's a tic-tac file in there. What? Oh. This is not tic-tac-toe. Okay, that got a little interesting. So yeah, when you put a piece down, you can actually move the piece. Sort of. Actually, now I'm confused, because sometimes I can and sometimes I can't move it. What? Okay, so I'm guessing just from reading in the about here that it's not supposed to allow you to make moves, like, before the game is over. Like, right now, I should not be allowed to make a move here, but it's letting me make a move there. So I'm pretty sure that's a bug, just judging from what I was reading about in the help there. So the idea is, you play it like tic-tac-toe, but once there's no moves left to make, then you start moving your own pieces around. Okay, so there seem to be some weird rules with which pieces can move where. But in any case, that's Achi, so it's not so great. I'm going to guess tic-tac-toe is using the exact same engine, but will actually play like tic-tac-toe. Also, the computer's going to play perfectly, so how in the world are you ever going to beat this? And there's no 2-player mode, by the way. Having a tic-tac-toe game and playing against the computer only when the computer's going to play perfectly every time? What is even the point, then? Bastille, or Bastille, or something like that. Okay, so this looks like one of those puzzle-type games. Yep, it's one of those games where you jump to pieces. So it doesn't look like you can do diagonal movements. So Although this looks like it's pretty difficult. Although I got it. So it comes with several different shapes. There's the plus shape here, pyramid, diamond, and solitaire. Oh, the entire thing. Just in case you wanted to challenge yourself completely. And you can change the button color between standard Windows 16 color palette options. Double block. Ooh, this looks like it's another one of those versus games. Although again, doesn't look like there's... Oh, there is a play alone option. Wouldn't it theoretically... I don't know. Maybe I should actually look at the help for this one. Okay, so this is kind of like a memory matching game from what I was reading. So it's like you click two of them. They're same color, so they matched. Now those two didn't, so now the computer takes a turn. And did the computer take a turn? I don't know. Curious. Why hasn't the, like, it's not set to play alone mode? So I don't understand why why I haven't actually seen the computer make any moves yet. Oh! Okay, so the computer is making moves, but I'm not seeing them, because they're going by super quickly. Okay, and you don't actually get to keep your turn after you successfully find a pair either. So that's interesting. No, computer's got me. Computer has won this round. And it does look like we have different boards as well. So, like, I mean, that begs the question, why isn't there a two-player mode for this? Like, there's an alone mode, but that just removes the computer side. And that's very weird that all these games, even the ones that could feasibly be two players without any issues, are not set up that way. Jumper! Oh, it's one of these ones. And finally, Knight. What? Okay, this is actually a puzzle game. So you move these pieces like you would knights, and you have to ultimately get them in the opposite positions positions they started in. English. So the red ones have to go up top where the blue ones were, and the blue ones have to go down where the red ones were. Wait, too many moves, please try again. What? So if you take too many moves to do it, it just stops you? How is that supposed to be intelligible? Like, wouldn't it be better to just have a moves counter and then just score the player based on the moves instead of saying, nope, you can't play anymore because you're taking too many moves? There isn't even a move counter counting it. Okay, so now that we've seen all of the brain games, all 7 of these, I have to say $20 is a bit much, because these they're not coded very well. Like, most of these programs have little issues with them that there's something up with that. Like, the Achi game had the problem with with being able to click when you weren't supposed to. The tic-tac-toe game has the problem of being completely unbeatable. None of them have two-player modes. The Knight game has the issue of just cutting you off instead of, like, scoring you or telling you how many moves you're making. I think the only 2 that actually worked to any degree properly was the Bastille and Jumper ones, because those are very simple puzzle games that are kind of hard to screw up. But I guess if he tried, he probably could have screwed them up. And then Battlesat was like, you couldn't choose your own layout. Double Block was a memory matching game that should have had 2-player mode, but yeah, so for $20, that's a hard sell.
Get ready.